Hey, how y'all doing? It's been a while. I know I shouldn't have kept you waiting, but I'm here now. Hello? You're currently on the phone with KCK. Yep, that's me. Hey everyone, it's me again. It's been a while. And if anyone can guess that song that I quoted at the beginning of this episode, like 5 seconds ago, I Will Love You Forever. And maybe I'll give you $1. But it's from a song from one of pop's biggest stars ever to exist in pop music. So if you know what it is, let me know. The very beginning was obviously it's from TikTok, but it's from that show on TLC. I don't even know what it is. The lady's walking in, she's like, "Hey," and the music's like that dramatic music. Anyway, I'm back finally, and I apologize for these last 2 weeks because I did not plan them. This week I was just lazy, which isn't good because I'm listening to a book right now by David Goggins, and if you guys know who that is, you know he would not tolerate laziness. He is a guy who was I should know this. The Navy, was he in the Navy SEALs or the Marines? Anyway, he did that insane boot camp thing like 3 times. It's called Hell Week, and you literally like get no sleep, and they like put you through absolute hell and push your body to the limits in your mind. I could never do it, just because of the sleep alone, but and the physical, the physical challenges and stuff. Anyway, he does not tolerate laziness or anything like that. He's just like, you just got to do it. I've never heard somebody or met somebody who cares about people so much and yet does not give a shit about people as equally as much. And I'm like, what is your goal here? Like, do you want people to succeed, or do you care if they do? Like, he's so how do I explain this? He's so mean, but he's also just wants everybody to succeed and be happy and follow their dreams and just do it. But like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. What is the book called even? Let me see. It's a popular one. It's like sold millions of copies. David Goggins. But his story is pretty inspirational, I will say. His life growing up was not the best. The book's called Can't Hurt Me. It looks like he's got... Wait, that's not the one I'm listening to, is it? It's 2024. Huh. I thought it was his first book. Anyways, that is the one I'm listening to, is Can't Hurt Me. And, no, and now here it says 2018, so I don't know. One says 2018, one says 2024. So maybe they did just like redid it. Anyway, it goes like through his life and just his growing up and how kind of sucky his childhood was, and then he like got married and gained like 200 pounds, 300, he was like 300 pounds, and then he wanted to go back into the army of some sort, the Navy SEALs. I'm so sorry, if I should be listening better. Anyway, his whole thing is just discipline and just do it. Don't be lazy. Just, anything in your mind you can overcome. And that does not happen for me as of right now when I want sleep. So I need to be better, but I'm not. So let's scroll back to 2 weeks ago, was it now? Almost. I went to Boston, as we all know. I recorded an episode there. I went to Maine. That's where I left you guys last time. I was just about to get on a bus to go to Maine. So in Utah, like the Western United States, Utah, I guess that's what I can speak on. We drive a lot. You just kind of have to. I guess not everybody does, because when I lived in Salt Lake, I worked almost downtown, and my coworker's like, "Oh, I had to drive all the way to Harriman today," and I'm like, "That's like 15 miles. It's not even like that far." it's And he's like, "Yeah, but it's like so far out of the way." I'm like, "No, it's not that bad." And that's when I realized, and I lived in South Jordan, and I would go to work in Salt Lake, and people thought I was crazy for that. People thought I was insane for doing that. So some people in Utah do not think the same way I do. But my family, we drive a lot. That's just what we do. And it's not uncommon for us to drive a couple hours to go somewhere for like a half hour and then come back. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's what you have to do. And you can drive and drive and drive for hours and you'll still be in Utah. That's pretty much the case for most Western states. So when you're over on the East Coast and all the states are smaller, you can get like 4 states in like 2 hours. That's what we did last time I went to the East Coast. We did like Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and South Carolina, I think. I can't ever remember. It's too confusing over there. But like the speed limits are so much slower too, which is really annoying. 'Cause obviously, there's probably more people on the road, and the roads are literally winding through just massive amounts of trees. Anyways, what I'm getting at is I was going to take a bus to Maine, which I did, and the Lyft driver was like, "So where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to Maine." He's like, "Oh, how long are you staying?" I'm like, like a couple hours." He's like, "A couple hours?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's like a really long drive." I'm like, "Yeah, it's only like 2 hours." He's like, "Yeah, that's like a long time. You sure you want to do that?" I'm like, "Oh, trust me, that is nothing compared to what I do back home." So it's just funny, like the way people see things. Like that was nothing to me, and I was that close. I was not gonna miss not going to Maine, which I loved. It was so fun. And if you saw my Instagram story the day I went there, you saw my hopes and dreams were crushed because I was sitting and having my lobster roll on the pier over the water. And I was talking to the waitress and talking to her about all this stuff. And I was like, "Oh, I really do like know where you can like sleep in a lighthouse. Like I want to so bad." She's like, "Oh no, that's illegal." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, there are like historic landmarks or something." And so yeah, you can go on them like one day a week, one day a year, and it's like National Lighthouse Day or something. But yeah, they're all protected by law, and so I was really sad about that. Also, I feel kind of dumb. I've been like saying this for I don't know how many years, and I just find out about it. But then I got to thinking, I was like, well, could I build my own lighthouse, and would that be considered? But I don't think it'd be the same. Wouldn't be the same vibe. So there's that. Then I came home. I had some ice cream there. Went and walked around. It was fun. It was really pretty. It was hot. When I was on my way back to the bus station, the other Uber driver was like, "It's really hot here." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty hot." I think it's hotter back home though. It's been like in the hundreds. And he's like, "Oh, in Boston?" I was like, "No, in Utah." He's like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah, but we don't have humidity. We just have the dry heat." He's like, "You don't have humidity at all?" I'm like, "Not really." He's like, "No humidity at all?" I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's all dry heat. I'm sure there's some humidity." And he's like, "Oh, wow." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'd honestly rather take that than humidity." The humidity in Boston was nothing compared to Oklahoma. It was 15 degrees hotter in Oklahoma though, so that might make a difference. I don't know if I had talked to you guys before or after, but we went to Salem. We took a ferry to Salem, and that was cool. We rode bikes around. And then we went to the very last day. We went to the opening show of the Queen of Versailles. That's the show I told you guys about with the family that's building the biggest house in America. that looks like the Palace of Versailles. Kristen Chenoweth, she was on Glee. She's like in a lot of stuff. If you saw her, you would know. And she was like in the very first production of Wicked. I hope I get that right, but I'm pretty sure it was the very first production with her and Idina Menzel, who it plays Elsa on Frozen. So those two are like the first to show that play to the world. Is it a play or musical? I don't know. Anyway, we went to this theater, the Emerson Colonial in Boston. Boston is a very walkable place and it's easy to get around. So if you are ever there, there's like so much stuff to do within the vicinity of where you're at. Like always, there's always something to do. And if you have to go far or like, from one end of the city or to the other, you literally can take a train. Oh, we went to Harvard too, but the train was down. That's why it reminded me. We went to Harvard, and I'm so mad. The business school was across the river, and I wanted to go get a picture in front of the sign like Kim Kardashian did, and I should have. It's like one of those things. You're so close, and you're like, it's okay. Now I'm like, what, 3,000 miles away, 2,000 miles away, and I'm like, I should have just done it. I was literally less than a mile away. I should have just went and did it. But Harvard was cool. It was really busy, like super busy place. But the Queen of Versailles, it was honestly so fun, and it was pretty accurate to the documentary. Like there's a scene where he's sitting in his recliner, his lazy boy, and they have that on stage, and it was funny. It was there's some sad parts in it, like. It was good. They did a really good job, and supposedly on the billboard it said pre-Broadway show, so I think it will eventually go to Broadway. But it was fun to be there the first night, and honestly, I never could tell, but they didn't make any mistakes. So like there was never like they're like we might have to like adjust some things or lighting or like just kind of go with it. But I didn't see anything that needed to be fixed or anything. And her voice is insane. I just can't imagine being able to sing like I sing obviously, but not not how anyone would ever want to hear or pay to see. But yeah, and actually the kids of the family, the real family, were there. I was in line getting merch, and the kids were in front of me, and I'm just like, what would it be like to be a billionaire? I mean, I guess they're technically not billionaires, their parents are, but still. I'm just like, what? How does that feel? Like, did you come here on a private jet? I'm sure you did. Like, where are you staying? What do you eat? Like, I was just so, like, I don't think I've ever been that close to a billionaire before. It was interesting. A lot of things going through my head. Just like, what was it like to grow up that way? There's a part in the story where they're poor, but they're not like poor. Like, you know what I mean? They're not me poor. They're billionaire poor. And they still had their maids and their big house they lived in. Not the Versailles one, but the other one. And I don't know. Just interesting. Interesting lifestyle that I probably will never ever see unless someone wants to marry me who's a billionaire. What else has happened? Oh, so I got back. We had to leave Boston at like 4. We had to leave the hotel, and we got back from the play at like midnight. And I'm like, I don't really want to go to bed. I'd rather sleep on the plane ride home, which I didn't hardly slept at all, which is so annoying. And so we're like, well, we'll just go eat, and then we'll pack, and we'll kind of just stay awake until our plane. I did not stay awake. I got all packed up and everything, and I took a little nap, and then we left at like 4. And I set my laptop down on this bottom shelf of the nightstand. And when I did that, I said, don't do that because it's dark, your laptop's black, and you're not going to see it. Like, just put it somewhere else. And of course, I did not listen to myself. Whenever you have a feeling, just listen to yourself. Just do it. So we leave for the airport, whatever, we go, and as soon as we're walking out the doors of the Salt Lake airport, I think there was this guy that walked in and he had his laptop in his hand. And I instantly then, I'm like, I don't have my laptop. And I looked in my backpack and it was gone. It was not there. So, of course, I was pissed. There's like that feeling in your heart where your heart just sinks, you know? And you're just so pissed at yourself. You're so annoyed. You're so bugged. But there's like nothing you can do about it at that moment. So I hurried and called the hotel, and they have an entire department for lost and found. The hotel was pretty big. It was a big, nice, like Marriott. And this lady, her name is Kitty. She was in charge of lost and found. And I told her, I was like, I know exactly where it's at. Luckily, they hadn't started cleaning because checkout was at noon, which I think that should be the case for all hotels. And it wasn't noon yet. And I'm like, I know exactly where it's at. I told her what it looked like, told her what room number it was in, all this stuff. And she's like, okay. And she comes back. She's like, all right, I have it with me. I was like, oh, great. Like, and then I didn't know like this existed, but I'm like, can you like send it to me? Like, I'll pay you personally to send it to me. And she's like, oh yeah, we can do that. She's like, go on this website called ileftmystuff.com. There's a whole website for it. And it's not just like this specific hotel, it's several throughout everywhere. And you just confirm, like she input some information and I had to confirm it and type in a code or whatever. And then I was able to put in my info. And I'm like, I wonder how much this is going to be. The highest option was $200, but it would get there the next day. The next one was $150, and the last one was like $75 or something. So of course I chose the cheapest one, and I'm like, it's going to be broken by the time it gets here. It's not going to make it. So then it wasn't going to make it in time for Monday of last week. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll just take a little break. And it finally got here, and it was literally like that scene from Emperor's New Groove. It was in a box, inside another box, inside a padded envelope, and it was fine. And it was still charged. Like, it was almost dead when I left, and it was still had battery. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. So it's here now. It's with me. It's safe. I took it to Disneyland with me, but I made sure to keep very close eye on it. I did some podcast notes while we were waiting for our twice delayed airplane on the way home from California. So then that brings me to my next trip. I went to Disneyland last Thursday. We got there on Thursday and kind of hung out and went to downtown Disney. And then we went to Disneyland Friday, California Adventure Saturday, and then Disneyland again on Friday or Sunday. And it was Pixar Fest. They had tons of food. Like, they had the pasta from Luca, which my cousin said wasn't very good. I didn't have it. They had a ratatouille pizza, which I never got a chance to get. They had, what else did they have? All kinds of stuff, like churros that were themed after like Buzz Lightyear. I'm wondering, I'm trying to think of what I had. Oh, wasn't Pixar themed, but it was it's called Smoke Jumper's Grill. It's right next to Soarin' in California Adventure. I love it because they have chicken strips and crinkle cut fries, but they are not the soggy kind. They are the crispy kind. And they always have some kind of shake. Like last time I was there, they had the orange dreamsicle shake, which was delicious. And this time they had a lemon bar shake. Oh, it was so good. It was so delicious. Like, probably my favorite thing I had there. And then I went to the Abominable Snowman's place from Monsters, Inc. He has like a little ice cream shop on the pier. And he had lemon ice cream with like a raspberry. No. Was it raspberry? Is either raspberry or blueberry slush in the bottom. Oh, that was so good. So it wasn't very busy there. It was like obviously busy, but not. I think I've seen it worse. And it could get pretty hot. Like, there were times I'm like, it is so hot right now. But it wasn't like unbearable. And yeah, so on our way home, we get a message saying our flight has been delayed. And then on the way to the airport from there, it says our flight has been delayed again. So we kind of just hung out. And yeah, it's not too bad. It's like an hour and 10-minute flight, hour and 20-minute flight. So by the time I got home, it was 1 a.m. and I had to be up by 6. I had to leave by 6 the next morning, or that same morning. And I'm like, well, I'll be like David Goggins said, and I'll get up. And I didn't. I couldn't do it, you guys. I'm so sorry. I had to go on the mountain all day and help set up tents and tables for this dinner my mom was having for it's called the Wool Growers Association. It's they sell sheep wool. It's like sheep farmers, and they have like meetings and conventions a couple times a year. And so yeah, we had to go up to where our sheep go in the summer, up by Heber, and the tents were not very good tents, let's just say that. And they kept blowing away, and we had to like tie them down and go get more string and more stakes. And by the end of the night, they were just done. They were like collapsing and folding in on themselves. So I didn't get home from there until like, I don't even know, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And I was just supposed to go out there, set the stuff up, and then come back. And I'm like, no, I think I gotta stay and keep an eye on these, which was fine because I got to eat the dinner, and my friend Sandy was there with her family, and so I got to hang out with her, and that was fun. And so I'm like, well, I'll just do it tomorrow, and I did not. I slept until like 9, which felt so good. And I got tons of laundry done. I mowed half the lawn and the lawnmower died. I replaced some sprinklers in the lawn because they have like sand in them and they won't turn, so the lawn's dying. I I cleaned my room. I got stuff done. I didn't just do nothing. And then I'm like, well, I'll just get up today. And I got up late again today because it's just who I am. I just love my bed. I love my sleep, and it's so hard for me to wake up. I love getting up early, but waking up is so hard, and I feel like it's just getting harder and harder. And I've started mouth taping my mouth at night, so I go into even deeper sleep, and it is just so hard to wake up, you guys. Anyway, that is my excuses for why I have not had an episode for a while. So shall we begin? A lot has happened. A lot. So where should I even start? I guess I'll start at the top of my list because that's... Sorry, I'm like knocking over all this stuff. Heather Gay from... I should let you know, Heather Gay, she was at Disneyland. I don't know if she was there the exact dates I was, or if she posted in real time. But she's from Real Housewives of Salt Lake. She's the one that has the book. She owns Beauty Lab. I'm going to try and stop saying you guys. I really am sorry. She has a new book coming out. It's called The Good Time Girl, which if you watch the show, you know what that is referencing. Comes out December 3rd. And this is all stuff I think she was scared to say in the first book. Like she didn't know how it was going to be received. And it did really well, I think. So now she's going on to different stories and stuff that she didn't tell in the first one. So, yeah, she was there celebrating her daughter's 17th birthday, her youngest one's. And I'm like, I wish I could have seen you. I would have been so happy. She's actually, it's crazy, like, on camera, how much taller people look. Like, she's not that tall, but on the show, she looks really tall. When I met her for her book signing, she was actually pretty short, which was interesting. But yeah. So Sharon Stone, she's an actress. She was like popular in the 90s. She had a stroke back in like 2000, I think. This is just interesting. I just want to tell you this. There's not like any specific reason why I chose this, but then she had like bleeding in her brain. So she had to go in and have like, I don't know, like a dozen things put in her brain. I don't even know what it is. And by the time she got back and was conscious and like could live life again, all of her money was gone. The people who were supposed to be taking care of her and like friends and family stole $18 million from her whole savings. I would be devastated. I would be so pissed. Like, And she's like, nothing was in my name. Everything was in other people's names. My cell phone, her refrigerator, like all these things were on credit in other people's names. They weren't even in hers. I'm like, that would suck to work so hard. I checked her IMDb and she was in over like 100 different shows and movies and stuff. And like, so she worked really hard for that. Sharon Stone, she was also really good friends with, maybe I should double check this before I say, hang on. Okay, I was correct. She was friends with Rock Hudson, and Rock Hudson was that really popular movie star back in, I don't know, I guess the 80s, 70s and 80s, and he got AIDS and died, but she was really close friends with him. And there's a documentary about him on Max, which was really good. It was really sad, but it was good. And I think she was like one of the only people that would go near him, if I'm correct. There was one person that was not afraid to, because they didn't know like how you contracted AIDS back then, and so no one wanted to even like go near people. So yeah, that Sharon Stone, she is, I don't know what she does now. I think she does like just random stuff. Okay, what is next? The Perfect Couple is a new show. I think it's on Netflix. Comes out September 15th. It's got Nicole Kidman, Liev Schreiber. It's so hard to explain these kinds of people. Like, there are people that you're like, when you see him, you're like, oh, it's that guy. You know what I mean? Like when the commercial comes on, you're like, oh, I know that guy. But like, you don't know really their name. You can't really explain them to people. Liev Schreiber, he was married to, oh, what was her name? Gosh, she reminds me of Nicole Kidman, but it's not her. It's the other one. Naomi Watts. Yes, I think that's right. Naomi Watts. Megan Faye, who was in White Lotus, is in it, and Dakota Fanning is in it as well. It says, when one lavish wedding ends in disaster before it can even begin, with a body being discovered in Nantucket Harbor. You have me sold on Nantucket and Nicole Kidman. Just hours before the ceremony, everyone in the wedding party is a suspect. So that should be pretty good. I just love Nicole Kidman. Tenacious D, they are the band that, I don't know who the other guy is, but Jack Black is in it. But Jack Black's bandmate, is that what you call him? He made a joke about the shooting that happened with Donald Trump, and it kind of blindsided Jack Black, and so he canceled the rest of the tour. He's like, I was so blindsided and I was so caught off guard, and I don't condone any kind of political violence or anything like that, so we're just going to cancel the rest of the tour, and I don't know if we're ever going to work together again. And the other guy was like, I don't know what I was thinking, I was just kind of in the moment thing. And yeah, so if you were going to the Tenacious D concert, I'm so sorry you cannot go there anymore. Emma Roberts is engaged to another actor named Cody John, 2 first names. I don't know who he is. He's not super famous, but she looks happy, and I'm happy for her. She was trying to go on an interview and defend Madam Web. I always wondered why she was in that movie. It's such a random part for her to play. She's just like this pregnant. Was she pregnant, or did she have a kid? Either way, she was like just this random side character, and it was like at her kid's birthday party that you saw her. And I'm like, what a weird role for her to play. Were they trying to set it up like for the next films, which they're not going to make, obviously? And she's going to be something, a bigger part. But I just thought it was so random for her to play that small part. But she was trying to say that the show would have done well if people would have taken it more seriously and wouldn't have made fun of it and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. It was pretty bad. It was yeah. My cousin pointed out at the very end throughout the whole movie, she's kind of like this. Not Emma Roberts, but Dakota Johnson. She's kind of like this lackadaisical, is that a word? Person who doesn't really care about things. Like, she doesn't take things too seriously. She just kind of like whatever. And at the very end, she turns around and this like Professor X chair, and she's like all wise and all knowing, and she guides the new uh, Madam Web girls. Like it was. I don't know what. Like how many people did that have to get through that movie, and how many people had to sign off on it, and how many people had to pretend like they liked it because they didn't want to make some higher up mad. You know what I mean? It's just so interesting to me. This happened. Oh no, Madison Beer has a new song called 15 Minutes. It's pretty good. I like most anything that she does. So this national anthem happened when I was in Boston. Ingrid Andress. I I don't know who that is. She's a country singer apparently. She was drunk during it, and honestly, I was expecting it to be so much worse, and it really was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was really like the last like little section of it that was pretty bad. But she posted on Instagram. She was like, "I am sorry to everyone. I'm sorry to my country. I'm sorry to, the baseball fans. Like, that was not me. I was not there. It was someone else. I was drunk, and I'll be checking myself into rehab." And so that's where she's at currently. But I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that sucks and it's embarrassing and stuff. At least she wasn't like Roseanne Barr when Roseanne sang the national anthem. Like, at least hers was like bearable and not just like screeching, bird into a microphone. But this, it might help her cause, because I didn't know who she was. And so I went on Spotify and searched, and she, yeah, she's going to get publicity, even though it's bad publicity. When I first saw her, she had 2 million listeners per month. I don't think it's going to jump that much, but no, I don't want Ingrid Michaelson. Ingrid Andress. Should we see if it went up? Not a lot, but some. The most popular song she has is More Hearts Than Mine, 152 million streams. But yeah, I feel bad for her. I hope she's doing okay. I hope she's doing well. Did you guys see Drake's house flooded? Apparently there was like tons of rain and stuff. I think he lives in Toronto. Is it Toronto, or what's the other one? Quebec. I think it's Toronto. If you guys seen his house, it doesn't even look real. It doesn't even look like it's possible to have that much money. You know what I mean? It's like, the thought of that is like so bizarre to me. Like, everything's marble pretty much, and the ceilings are like 30 feet high in like every room. And I don't know, just seeing all that water flood through that house and into like his closet and all this stuff, I was like, oh. He didn't seem like too upset about it, because he's like, that better be martini espresso or something. Yeah. Adele says she's taking a break from music, which is sad. She did say, though, a couple months ago, she wants to have a baby. She wants to have a baby girl. So I hope that is possible for her. She's wrapping up her residency. Oh, I think it already wrapped up in June. I think it's done. The Vegas one is done. But she's doing a short one in Germany. I think that's where Munich is. Hang on. Sorry. Do you ever just like think you know something, and then when you say it out loud, you're like, I'm not really sure if that is where I think it is. Yes, it is in Germany. I was correct. Okay. But the stage she's going to be on is supposed to be like huge. It's supposed to be massive. And the screen is like one of the biggest screens ever in a stadium. Oh, it's not even a stadium, but it's like, it's massive. And she has a stage that goes out pretty much to the middle of the whole crowd. And there's going to be little areas around it's not, what is it? Is it a stadium, or is it a arena? It's an arena. So let's see. Adele in Munich is the second concert residency by English singer Adele, held in a purpose-built 80,000 seat outdoor arena. I don't know what that is, in Munich. It is set to begin on August 2nd and will end August 31st with 2 shows per week. And the set list is supposed to be the longest of any set list she's done. So that's exciting. Let's see. It was also revealed that the outdoor environment would be Adele themed. This would include a I drink wine bar, an authentic English pub, a Ferris wheel, a beer garden, along with multiple food and beverage options. So she's, taking care of her fans. And then I think she'll go into hiding for a while, which is really sad. But unfortunately, that's what happens. As time goes by, everyone needs a break. Apparently I did too, for 2 weeks. So Deadpool just came out. We were going to go and try and see it Thursday when we got to California, but there was literally no seats available. And I'm like, that is so annoying. So we didn't see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's awesome. Like, I haven't seen one review where it's people don't like it. But I just want to go over some of the songs that are on the soundtrack. Bye 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 by NSYNC. Apparently that opens up the movie. Glamorous by Fergie. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I'm With You by Avril Lavigne. The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman. Which is funny because Hugh Jackman's in it. So obviously that's, a joke or a nod to Hugh Jackman. You're the One That I Want by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. Travolta. That's one of those names. Like, you think Travolta. I don't think I've said it with an R at the end. Maybe I have. Anyway, Good Riddance by Green Day. So there's more, but I don't really know the other songs, so I just did these ones. So the opening weekend, it did $205 million in the domestic opening, so just US, and $483 million globally. The first Deadpool made $137 million, and the second one made $125 million. And it has a 97% score on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder if that's still the same, because I did this a while ago. So yeah, it is. Someone showed like a list of highest openings, top 20 openings, and literally all of them were Disney, Marvel, and then the only one that wasn't was Jurassic World. That was Universal. But in the top 20, they were all Disney companies, which that's a lot of money. So I guess Marvel, it was Comic-Con in San Diego. Was it? I thought Comic-Con was in September. I wonder if that's the Salt Lake one that they had to rename. But Marvel announced like a whole array of things that are coming out. Like, Marvel's not doing well right now, and I think they were just giving us too much too quickly. It just didn't seem like things were that thought out. They were just like kind of throwing stuff at us. And honestly, nothing is just ever going to compare to the original Avengers. I'm sorry. It's just not. I hate to be that person, but it really isn't. And the hype, it was just, I don't know. It was just like, you had to be there. Like, it was a part of, what was it, like 15 years from the first Iron Man to the last Avengers. Like, it was just fun to be a part of that. And that's back when you could like go to midnight premieres, not like Thursday at 8 p.m. It was like midnight premieres. You couldn't pick your seats in the movie theaters. I don't know, it was just like an event. And yeah, I don't know. Now it's just not the same. But I think they're realizing that they need to change some things because Tony Stark is, why did I put Tony Stark? I put Tony Stark is Doctor Doom. I meant Robert Downy Jr. is Doctor Doom, which I have no idea who that is. I didn't research who that is. His slogan right now he's kind of throwing around is new mask, same task. So I don't know what that means because he sounds evil. Doctor Doom. So yeah, everyone's like, what? Why are you bringing him back? Some people are confused about it. Some people are happy about it. I like Robert Downey Jr., so I'm not going to be that upset. But so he's going to be in Avengers. There's 2 more coming out. One next year and one the year after. Or maybe it's 26 and 27. So stay tuned for that. That should be interesting to see. I wish they'd bring like Scarlett Johansson back. I wish they'd bring, just all the original people. I just bring back the crew. Halsey has a new song called Lucky, and it's getting mixed reviews. So supposedly she talked to Britney Spears before and wrote her a letter and stuff, and she sampled the song Lucky by Britney Spears, obviously. She like has her own chorus lines, but then she has her own verses, but then the chorus lines are the Lucky from the Lucky song. And then it was like, it came out that Britney Spears was pissed about it. She's like, I'm calling my lawyers. Like, she didn't like the music video and said it portrayed her in a bad way, like a vapid pop star. So then it came out that Britney was like, that was not me. That's a fake tweet or whatever. I haven't even been on my phone all day. It's not real. I have no bad issues with her. Like all this stuff. And then last night, Halsey said, here, let me pull it up. She went on Tumblr, which is Tumblr coming back? I didn't realize Tumblr was still a thing. Let's see. She said she regrets coming back to music. Says many fans are meaner to me than any other people. Halsey addressed the hate from fans following the release of her new single, Lucky. Go away. Let's see. Halsey speaks up on Tumblr. I don't want to open that. My own fans are hands down meaner to me than any other people on the planet. Not speaking for all of you, of course, but it used to be just a minority that were awful to me, and now it seems like a majority have only stuck around to chime in occasionally with their opinion of how much they hate me or how awful I am. It's hard to want to engage in a space that is completely devoid of any kindness, sympathy, patience, or, to be honest, human decency, especially after the years of hiding from the interactions of fear that this exact thing would happen. I don't know, man. I almost lost my life. I'm not going to do anything that doesn't make me happy anymore. I can't spiritually afford it. When I got sick, all I could think about was getting better so I could come back and be a part of this again, but I don't even know what this is anymore. And I want to crawl into a hole and regret. I can't see the rest of it. Sorry. I don't want to open Twitter. No, I don't want Rolling Stones to send me updates. Let's see. After sharing the post, she decided that she was uploading a stripped version of her Britney Spears sample Lucky, that she's on her way to a PET scan. This is the insane irony of my life has become. She said, I'm not a person, I'm not a character in a music video. Let's see. Anyway, that's sad. I feel like she's not wrong. People are just so mean for no reason. There's literally no reason for people to be so mean to these celebrities. Like, I just can't imagine going out of my way to write something mean to someone just because. Like, I don't know. I would be mortified if I did that. Because you know how on Instagram it shows you like people that you're following? It shows liked by 500,000 people. But before that it shows like someone's name. Liked by KCK and 500,000 people. Or like it brings up the top 2 comments, and they could either be the top comments or comments from people that you know. And it's just like, if someone I knew saw me harassing or bullying someone like that, I would be so embarrassed. I would be so mortified. The only time I've ever like said something on social media is when someone's being an absolute jerk to someone, or post something that is so like bad or mean or whatever, and I'm like, that's when I said something. That's been like one time maybe, and I can't even remember what it was. But why would anyone go out of their way to say something mean to somebody? If you don't like the new song, just don't listen to it anymore. That's all you gotta do. That's literally all you got to do. I don't understand people. The internet has made people way braver than they think they are. And yeah, it's just that thing. What did Michelle Obama say? They say all these mean things to you online, but I guarantee you if they saw you in real life, they would never say those things. That's not how she said it. She said it more elegantly, of course, but that's basically the gist of it, which is true. It is very true. Mr. Beast, I honestly don't know what he does. He makes some kind of YouTube videos, but I don't know what they are. I don't think they're my forte, but he makes like tons of money. He's one of the top creators on that platform. Him and his team have removed 34 million pounds of trash from the ocean, which is a lot of trash. That makes you wonder, where is that going? Are they burning it? Are they recycling it? Is recycling real? Like, I don't, like at Disneyland, they had all these kind of like recycling bins. And my cousin's like, I honestly don't even think that I think they just throw it all away. But they just do this to make people feel better. But it's like, you hear like one plastic water bottle can only be recycled once. Or it can't be recycled if it has like food particles on it. Or, it's like, so is it working? Like, I don't understand. I don't know what I don't know what to believe anymore. Anna Faris said that she would be down for a House Bunny sequel, which I would love. She's doing interviews again, so she must be slowly starting to come back into the scene. She's been MIA for a long time, which is really sad because I love her. She was in Scary Movies, and she's talked about having them make another one, and she would do it. And I just love those movies. They're so not politically correct anymore, but some of the lines in there are so funny, and just the dramatics of it, and making fun of all these scary movies. They're just so funny. They are doing a live action Hercules, supposedly, and Zane Phillips is going to play Hercules, allegedly. There was a rumor that it was going to be Austin Butler, which I wouldn't be mad at. And that Dua Lipa, I think this one's far-fetched, but Dua Lipa was going to play Meg. But I do not think that's the case anymore. Zane Phillips, I don't know what he's not really in a lot, so I can't explain him to you. But again, he's probably one of those people, if you look him up, you know him. You just don't know him. Let's see. Elon Musk is selling his stock before it hit a 2-year low, which someone commented, they're like, isn't this the same thing Martha Stewart did and went to prison for? And everyone's like, yep, that's exactly what it was. So if you don't believe sexism is a real thing, look no further than this right here. Apparently Tesla stocks are terrible right now. Awful. Which makes me happy because I hate Teslas. Tesla stock. Oh, apparently it's better now, but it was not doing well as of a few days ago. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be that bad to me, but I just don't like Elon Musk at all. So that's just my opinion. So if you're ever wondering what Martha Stewart went to jail for, it's what people on Wall Street and billionaires do pretty much on a daily basis. So my guessing is she made someone mad, and that someone went to, the government. I don't know who is in charge of this thing, and she got in trouble for it, which is super annoying. Okay, the Emmy nominations have been revealed, and there's a lot of them. Disney, I think the company that has the most is Netflix with like 109, but Disney altogether has the most because they own Hulu, ABC, Disney, and FX. So where's my other, sorry, I'm looking for my other file. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So they have the most, the 183, I think, total. Yeah. Let's see. HBO has 29. No, HBO has 91. Apple TV has 72. And Netflix has 107. So let me just read a few that I'm excited for. Best drama series, The Morning Show. I love the morning show. I'm still like, I watch it pretty much every day. I just like I'll fall asleep during the episodes and then I'll just restart them and watch them later on. And I still haven't finished season 3, but it's like my favorite show ever. The Crown, obviously, that one's always on there. Shogun, that one was, they were marketing it pretty heavily. I remember that one. Fallout, isn't that a video game? And the Mr. and Mrs. Smith has tons of nominations. Best Actress in a Drama Series is Reese Witherspoon for Morning Show and Jennifer Aniston for Morning Show. So that's exciting. Best Actor, Donald Glover, Idris Elba, Gary Oldman, yada yada yada. Let's see. Best Supporting Actress, Christine Baranski in The Gilded Age. Holland Taylor for The Morning Show. Holland Taylor was the professor on Legally Blonde. She's the one where Ella's taking notes with her furry pen, and she's like asking her notes, and then she tells her to leave because she's not prepared. Elizabeth Debicki from The Crown. She's that really tall lady who played Diana. Let's see. Best Supporting Actor, John Hamm for The Morning Show, which I love that. Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, which I feel like he's more than a supporting actor. He's in The Morning Show a lot. Like, there was an episode where Reese Witherspoon wasn't even in it at all. Interesting. Let's see. What else? Sarah Paulson, best guest actress. I didn't know she was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Huh, interesting. Best comedy series, Abbott Elementary, The Bear. I didn't know The Bear was comedy. I thought that was a drama. Curb Your Enthusiasm, that is still going. That show is still, I swear I've been hearing about that show for the last 12 years. Only Murders in the Building, Hacks. That one better win. Hacks is one of the best shows of all time. If you have not watched it, go to HBO Max. Watch it. It's so good. What We Do in the Shadows, Palm Royale, Reservation Dogs. Best Actor in a Comedy Series, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Jeremy Allen White. Best Actress in a Comedy Series, Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary, Selena Gomez, Maya Rudolph, Jean Smart from Hacks, Kristen Wiig. Oh my gosh, these are all so good, you guys. Okay, I think that'll be it for all that, but it's exciting. I thought the Emmys isn't like award season like in the winter, but I guess the Emmys is different because they are on, let's see, where is it? There was like a thing that told you when it was. Oh, the 76th Emmys are set to air on Peacock. Oh, from the Peacock Theater. So I'm guessing they'll be on NBC. Nope, I was wrong. On ABC. So I'm hoping we can watch it on Hulu. September 15th from 5 to 8 p.m. So, but most of the awards will be handed out September 7th at like some dinner thing. Some fancy Hollywood dinner that I'm not invited to. What is next on my list? Kylie Jenner partnered with Crumbl, but it was only at one location in West Hollywood. And I'm like, should I take a Uber from West Hollywood or from Anaheim to West Hollywood? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to. I just want to see what flavors they were. No. So it's for her Kylie skin. And okay, can you please just show me the flavors? I really just want to know what the flavors are. Milk chocolate chip, cookies and cream. No, that's what this is. Oh my gosh. I swear, sometimes the internet is so dumb. Like, sometimes it'll pop up, like, perfectly what you want, and sometimes it won't. And it's like, that shouldn't have been that hard to figure out. Hang on, I'm going to pause. I'm going to put you guys on pause, and I'll find out what they are. Okay, there's confetti cake. There is banana caramel, which that's an interesting combination. There's Kylie's pink sugar cookie, which is just the general one. There's like a double chocolate one, snickerdoodle, and something leche, I I think. But sadly, I will not be able to have them because I'm going to Olivia Rodrigo today, actually. Yeah. And if you remember from one of my episodes, I say she has her own cookie, and whichever location she's in, the locations around that sell her cookie for the week. So I told Catherine to go buy us some. I hope she did because I want to try it. And my friend Sandy said she went and tried to get it the other day and they were sold out. I'm like, what do you mean they were sold out? It's Tuesday. How are they sold out? Apple TV is cutting back on expenses, it said. It says they've spent $20 billion on shows and movies since the start. Yeah, okay, here it is. It says Apple plans to cut back on TV spending. They've spent over $20 billion on shows and movies since the launch of Apple TV Plus. The platform currently generates less views in a month than Netflix does in one day. That is so crazy to me. Because the shows on Apple TV, I think they're really thought out and like planned well. I feel like Netflix is just like throwing anything at us and hoping that we like it. So I think the tides will eventually turn, but I don't know. I have not been on Netflix since they kicked me off my mom's account in a long time. Like I'll watch it with people, but like I don't even have it anymore. So like my cousin has it on the TV upstairs, but I don't really watch TV up there as much, and I'm just too lazy to ask for the login to put it downstairs. But there's really no shows on there that I want to watch. I guess Cobra Kai is out now. Emily in Paris is coming out soon, so I have to get that. But like that's what it is. It's like these shows that I want to watch come out every other year, and so I'll watch it for like a week and then it'll be done. I don't know. I just feel like there's just too much stuff. It's too overwhelming. I can't do it, you guys. I just can't. Let's see. Camila Mendez. She was the one from Riverdale, the most realistic show on the planet. And Madeline Klein. She was is in Outer Banks. They're going to be in a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and not the song from Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, but the movie that was back in was the 90s or early 2000s. Dua Lipa is, I don't know if she's the face of Porsche right now or if she's just doing a collab with them, but she did a commercial for them and she directed it. Like, what can she not do? She's a person that does not need sleep, and I don't know how she does it. I wish I knew. Katy Perry is performing at an Australian event, and just wait till you hear the name of this. Katy Perry. It is like the longest name in history. Australia. Let's see. No. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I mean. This should have pulled up so quickly because they just talked about it the other day. When you think Katy Perry, Australia, you think it would pop up the most recent thing. No, what is it called? Sorry, guys. I should be more prepared than this, but I didn't think it would be this hard. Australia Cricket, is that what it's called? Australia's soccer event? I don't even know what it is. Australia sporting event. Hang on, I might just have to go to her. Oh, here it is. Okay. The 2024 Grand Final. AFL focuses on international entertainment with Katy Perry headlining the 2024 Grand Final. The Australian Football League has announced that the international music icon Katy Perry will headline the Telstra pre-game entertainment at the 2024 Toyota AFL Grand Final. When she was saying that in the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, how were you even able to like memorize that or read it off the prompter? Like there's so many letters and words in one sentence. Inside Out 2 is officially the highest grossing animated movie, I think. I know it surpassed Frozen 2, which made a lot of money. So yeah, it is doing quite well. I'm wondering, because they have that one kind of like little kids ride at California Adventure. I'm wondering now if they're going to make Inside Out more like prevalent around the park. You know, if they're going to do because they're doing like a Zootopia land, they're doing a Frozen land, I think a Coco land. So I wouldn't be surprised if they incorporated Inside Out into that somehow. Cher has a new memoir coming out. I will tell you more about that when it gets closer. Supposedly they're making a Top Gun 3. Oh, I saw Twisters. I liked it a lot, actually. It was really good. It was like the right amount of cheesy, with the right amount of unrealistic, with the right amount of like, flirting. You know what I mean? It was it was really well done. And I watched the first Twister the night before with my friends, and the graphics, oh my gosh, they're like so 90s. The graphics in the new movie are much better. But yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. I would recommend anyone go see it. It's funny because the original movie is PG-13 and it swears like so much more than the new movie. And like one of the first lines of this one lady's in the original Helen Hunt's character, she's like saying the F word and stuff. Like watching it with like my family friends and like their little kids. I'm like, oh. So like the mom hurrying turned off the the subtitles. Oh. Anyway, Taylor Swift's friend Abigail, who was the only person that wasn't mean to her in school, is having a baby. If you're wondering about that. Peaky Blinders is apparently getting a new movie. Top Gun 3 is in the works, apparently. Lady Gaga was at the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and she did fantastic. She also played a snippet of 2 of her songs on her upcoming album. She's like standing out the sunroof of this like car in Paris. I love her. And she introduced her boyfriend of what we thought, Michael Polanski, I think is his name, as her fiance to someone else. So they caught it like in a video someone got at the Olympics. So she's engaged with that. That's exciting. The Olympics are coming back to Utah. Did I already say that? Sorry, I'm kind of like going back and forth. Yeah, in 2032, I think. Is that what it is? Anyway, finally, we're like the only people that have kept up our facilities. So it just makes sense. And apparently they're trying to make places permanent. What am I trying to say? Permanent Olympic facilities. So like they'll rotate like between, I don't even know how many there are. I just heard someone say this, but like probably 10, I would say, in different areas of the world. And Utah would be one of the permanent ones, which makes sense. Some even better news, Kevin Federline loses his child support in 45 days. I think it's less than that now. Kevin Federline is Britney Spears' ex-husband. He gets $40,000 a month in child support. $40,000. That I don't even make that in a year. That is insane. Oh my gosh. Celine Dion was at the opening ceremonies too, and it was like very, very like a sweet, tender moment because she did that interview where she's like, I will sing again. I will sing again. Mark my words. And she came out on stage and she did so well, and it was just, you could just tell in her eyes and her facial expressions, she was just so happy to be doing that, and she overcame, I mean, she still has her illness, but just to see her so happy doing what she loves is, I don't know. And then Kelly Clarkson is a commentator at the Olympics, I guess you could say that, and she was talking to her other co-host, and she started like tearing up because she's like, Celine Dion is the gold medal winner in our what am I trying to say, in our field. And so to see her struggling so much but then get up there and do that is just unreal. She like started crying, which obviously. Okay, I am nearing the end of my list, which is good because I've got to go. The one last thing I want to leave on is there's a new show coming to Hulu on September 6th, which I'm so excited. It's called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and it's about, like, last year and the year before, there was like that whole scandal with the swingers in Utah. Taylor Frankie Paul, I think is her name. She's the one that I think she's probably the most well known of that whole group. But yeah, Hulu is making a show about it, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I hope it's good. I hope it does well and keeps going, but it should be interesting because Utah is a swinger state, like majorly. My mom's like, "Are you a swinger?" I'm like, "No, Mom. Why do you think that?" She's like, "Well, because you said it in your podcast." I'm like, "Okay, that doesn't mean I'm a swinger. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to be married to be a swinger too, don't you?" Maybe not, but anyway, if you ever see any upside down pineapples in a grocery store, run the other way. Unless you want to be a swinger, then go confront that person. So there's that. Anyway, thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with me. I will be better for sure. I've actually done pretty good, you guys, honestly. I've only had a couple hiccups, and they happened to be the last 2 weeks. So we're nearing the 1 year anniversary of this podcast. It's kind of crazy to think about, but that's what happens. Time just moves so fast. Anyway, have the best day ever. Go watch the Olympics. Go watch Twisters. And long live Madam Web.